Good morning. Today's Sunday, and we're still in Braemar. I wanted to talk a bit about the whole YouTube thing because I think I've been trying to do something which isn't going to work for me, and I need to stick to what I can do because the last couple of days I've taken quite a bit of footage and I have these ideas of the way YouTube is supposed to be, and you're supposed to have an A roll and a B roll and you mix it all together and you put some drone shots in and some you make up something which is watchable, and for me that's not what this is about. um, I I mean, initially when I started this whole thing, I suppose everyone does, we're going to be YouTube millionaires and have 8 million subscribers and be living off the fat of commissions or whatever it is that you get from YouTube. That's just not going to happen, right? My subscriber count is up. I've now got 12. um, Apparently you need about 100,000 to be able to give up your job, and I don't even know what kind of a give up your job lifestyle. I don't know what kind of an income that is, but I'm unlikely to get to that point. And I don't mind because I think what this is about for me now is keeping track of the places I go, the things I've done, the thoughts I have. And I think doing it this way, with having an A roll where I talk my thoughts out and then I put the video out, right? And I don't put all the magic and drone shots. Maybe occasionally I will, but mostly I don't do all that stuff. Um, and then I'll also have other videos where I go biking or running or mountain biking or paddleboarding or whatever I happen to do wherever I happen to do it. And I think I'll stick to that format because it works for me. So over this weekend, I've taken GoPro video, I've taken drone video, I've taken phone video, I've taken photographs, and then I sat down last night and tried to put it all together and went through about 20% of my lithium battery charging up my laptop, and made one video, didn't look right, made another one, didn't look right, spent about 3-4 hours when I really have other things that I need to be doing, and in the end none of it actually worked. So this is what works for me, and this is the way I'm going to stick to it. So what have I been up to? Thursday we came up here and we stayed at the excuse me, we stayed at the campsite around the corner. Brilliant campsite, £17.50 a night, and I got to plug everything in. I got to empty my waste. I got to fill my water. My battery got up to 100%. I got to run off my heating off the electrics and hot water off the electrics all night, which was great. So I didn't use any of my gas. Yeah, it would actually be handy. There's some vans they actually put out now that have an electric hob as well as the gas ones. That would be handy, but I don't mind with that. I could have cooked on my Ninja, and I should have done, actually. If I had a thought on, I would have picked up some chicken wings, because I really fancy chicken wings in the Ninja. But the problem is there's nowhere near here. Although there's a butcher's here, actually. You know what? I probably could have picked some up, but it's not like getting them from Tesco's or Aldi or something, is it? So yes, we were there Thursday, and then since Friday, we came down to the main car park in Braemar. It's a beautiful little village. We've been for some walks, we've been for a hike. I did that bike ride around Marone, where I tried to get to the top and I couldn't get to the top because of the snow. I went for another bike ride yesterday to the Linn of Dee, it's called, just along the road out of Braemar, and it goes for about 5 miles. Well, it goes for about 3 or 4 miles and then kind of doubles back on the other side of the river and then comes back on itself and to a dead end. So the whole overall ride was no, it was 20 miles. So yeah, so it must actually, no, so it actually goes out 6 miles, then turns back on itself for about 4-ish, and then stops at the dead end. So it's just over 20 miles that we did. It was a good ride. Lots of trees down, and I do have a bit of video for that ride, and I will try and get it up. But like I said, I can't combine this with that because I just don't have the time to do the whole A roll B roll thing that people kind of expect of you. So for me, this is more about just tracking where I've been, what I've done, and what my thoughts are. And that's what it's going to stick to. So after my ride yesterday, I thought I was going to leave here and go up to Aviemore, which is the other side of the Cairngorms. And I wanted to do some mountain biking over there while I'm up here. I have to go back down south. I have to sort some stuff out for James in Glasgow. I then have to go back home to do, there's some tools and bits I need to do some jobs on this van. There's some deliveries I've had that I need to pick up for the van. I have to get the van MOT'd, which I've now realized the reverse light wasn't working yesterday. The reason why the reverse light wasn't working is because when I took the bumper off to fix it and I put them back on again, there's a white light and a red light, and they both of the cables had REV on them, reverse. So I put the white light on the driver's side and the red light on the passenger side. Well, that's wrong. So my reverse light hasn't been working. So I need to swap them around. The white one goes on the passenger side. So I'll fix that before it goes in for an MOT. I was actually looking yesterday, I took all the cables out and started looking for an electrical fault, thinking I'd done something when I was trying to put the camera system in. And it just turns out that I just put the lights on the wrong side of the van. So I don't know what that extra red one's for though. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, so I have to go down and get the MOT done. Then I have to go down to Bristol to get my my EBL changed over to lithium profile, because at the moment I'm using a lead acid profile, and oh my god, the people on Facebook that tell you how bad you're going to blow up your battery, and people are so opinionated. You don't blow up your battery. The thing is that it charges at a lower voltage than what the lithium should really take. So lithium should be charged at something like 14.6 volts, and the lead acid and the standard profile doesn't charge at that. It charges around 13 something. So they need to increase the voltage of the EBL to charge the lithium properly, and that's all, right? That's the primary objective here. Which will be good. I don't know if it's going to charge my lithium faster. I'm trying to get that information out of them, because that would benefit me when I'm driving. Unless I still might need to get a battery-to-battery charger at some point, but it'll make it less of an urgent requirement, because they'll change the EBL to be lithium. And what they say is, if you're ever selling the van and want to take the lithium out, they can change it back. You have to take it back to them. But I'll never take the lithium out. When I sell this van, the lithium will go with it. It makes sense, right? For starters, lithium technology I'm going to have this van for at least 5 years, and lithium technology is going to move on. So in 5 years' time, there'll be a better lithium battery. Plus the fact that I might actually build my own, because the battery I've got goes under the driver's seat, and it's 230 amp hour. Now, it doesn't fill up the whole driver's seat cavity, so I'm thinking you could build one and probably fit 300 amp hours under the driver's seat quite comfortably. And you can build these batteries. There's YouTube videos on them about how to build a lithium battery. So I don't think it's hard. It just takes a bit of time and watching some videos to figure out how to do it, and that's fine, and get the parts. It'd be cheaper for a start, but it also, you could build whatever size you want. So I could probably fit 300 amp hours underneath my battery, my seat. But it just depends on what the next van is that I get, right? I don't know what, I'd like to get an A-Class next. But then this van is brilliant, so I'm going to probably have this for at least another 5 years. Put a bit of miles on it and do a bit of touring around. So after I go down to Applejack to get that sorted, I have to get onto the train. And I don't know if that's going to happen. It all depends on the whole divorce court, which is on March 18th. Between that as well, I'm also going mountain biking in the Lake District with my friends on the weekend after divorce court. But I don't even know if divorce court's going to happen on the 18th, because neither of us have submitted our financial records at the moment, and that needs to be done. I need to speak to my solicitor tomorrow and figure out what's going on with all of that. I'm really hoping it can still go forward on the 18th. If not, I can cancel my train the Eurotunnel. I'd rather not, but obviously, if they put my court date in the next 3 months, I'll have to cancel it and go another time. So yeah, so I can do that. So yesterday I left here and I actually thought I was going to Aviemore. So I drove up and got up to Balmoral. And when I hit Balmoral, I thought the Cairngorms is such a beautiful place. Right? It needs time. I mean, Aviemore is an hour and a half away, and it doesn't really make sense to speed through the Cairngorms to get to the other side to go ride bikes at Aviemore. What this needs is it needs like 2 weeks in the Cairngorms, just driving 10, 15 miles, 20 miles a day, something like that, and stopping along the way, and then doing a walk or a ride or whatever, and just taking your time. So, plus the fact that I was happy here. So I got up to Balmoral and I thought, why am I rushing to Aviemore to go and do this bike ride? Why don't I go back to Braemar? My friend Peter is going skiing today up at Glen Shee. So he said he's going to come down here this afternoon anyway. So I thought, well, why don't I just come back to Braemar? There's some pubs that I really enjoyed going to, and I meant to only go for one last night, but I ended up having three. I'm going to cut my week time drinking down anyway after this weekend, and just not drink anything midweek, because I'm getting back into having too much alcohol. But you know what? When you're in a small village at nighttime, you go to the pub, and I got chatting to a few people, and I've made a few friends. So yeah, so you do, right? You go for a pint. So last night I really went for the social aspect of it, and ended up having 3 pints. It's all right. Alfie also met a girlfriend, had a good sniff around of her while she was trying to have a wee. But yeah, it's been good. So it's a lovely little village, and it's got everything you need. So I'm probably going to take Alfie for a walk again this morning, and then my plan is to actually cycle up to Glen Shee with him in tow on the road bike. I need to get the road bike out quite quickly. I mean, it's 7:30 now. I've got a coffee there, so I need to finish that and then get the road bike out. I need to put new brakes on it. I need to change the chain, and I need to put new tires on it, because especially the back tire went down yesterday mid-ride, and I had to pump it up at the end of the ride and get back. So yeah, I need to add, and I've got new tires anyway. I think they're 32s on it now, and I've got 42s or 40s to go on it. So they're just slightly bigger. So yeah, so I'll put the slightly larger tires on it. And we'll ride up to Glen Shee. It's 10 miles away, and it's about 1,700 feet of climbing on the ride, and then it's all downhill on the way back. So it's literally uphill and then down. And I think we'll do that today. So there you have it. That's what this is for me, is, as I said, it's just a place for me to dump my thoughts, so that in years to come I can look back and see where I was, what the state of my conditions I was living in, because it's a pigsty, isn't it? Look, I could have even closed I would have closed the door to the bedroom, except for the fact that he was sat eating his breakfast. He still has his scrambled eggs every morning. He loves them. In fact, I went into the shop yesterday to buy eggs because we'd run out. So I went to just the co-op around the corner, and the woman behind the counter was check the eggs to see if any were broken, and I hadn't thought to check that. And so I said to her, "Oh, I didn't think to check that." I said, "They're not even for me; they're for my dog." And she said her dog gets scrambled eggs every morning. But apparently he's an ex-greyhound, and that's what they got in training, I guess. I guess it's the protein, isn't it? But he just gets scrambled eggs every morning because he likes it. Puppies tend to get it, and then they grow out of it. I know Dexter grew out of it. He stopped liking them. But Alfie has always loved his eggs. If I go anywhere near the stove, when I go make my coffee, he will go and sit at my feet, or sit between my feet and his food bowl, and alternate looking at both of us, the food bowl and me. I guess that's his way of saying, "Give me my eggs." So yeah, so that's what we're up to. All right, so that's the plan for today, and then after today, I'm driving back down south. I've run out, my one gas bottle is empty. I've done all the hookups that I need to do for it, so I need to go and get more gas, and I need to post my phone for repair, and I need to get it done soon, because I need to get that back from repair before I go to Spain. if I go to Spain. So have a great day. I will try and get the video of the road ride up as its own independent video with the drone shots, because the drone shots were quite good. At one point the drone got caught among some hydro lines. I mean, how the heck? Hydro lines are they're only thin, and the drone has all this airspace. How does it manage to fly at the exact height of bloody hydro lines? It survived anyway, right? Good news, it survived. It almost got hit by a car because it was flying too low then, so I was worried about the hydro lines. And yeah, it followed me on the way home. I ran into a couple that were camping in 4x4s, these ones with the tents on the top. And that got me thinking about the style of van that I have and that I want. And I mean, it's brilliant having a 4x4 that can go anywhere. I mean, this thing gets stuck in any sort of, if there's snow, I can't drive. Primarily because I haven't got snow tires on it, and when these tires need replacing, which I think will be kind of at the end of this season, I'm going to put BF Goodrich's on it. So for the winter I'll get all-terrain tires on it. They don't last as long, and they're a bit more expensive, but you'll get the traction in the mud and any snow, whatever you happen to go into in the winter. So I think that'll be worthwhile. I'm also going to get a set of alloys at the same time, on the basis that you've got to pay valve and balancing anyway. And with some of these alloys that I've seen, yeah, they're more expensive, but because they already come with the tires fitted on them for you, then all that's kind of included, and it actually makes it worthwhile to do. So I haven't got alloys on this thing. So yeah, so when I get new tires put on, I'm probably going to get a set of alloys and a set of BF Goodrich's for this, which would be good. But then when I was thinking about all of the four-wheel drive business or even the stealth van, right? There's about 3 or 4 stealth vans here, just panel vans, and yeah, they look a lot less conspicuous than I do at 7.4 meters stuck in the car park. But then, I think I saw someone sat up with their diesel heater this morning in one of their panel vans, and they were sat in the driver's seat with the diesel heater going, waiting for it to warm up. And I just set mine to, I got up in the morning, it was set to 10 degrees while we were sleeping. I woke up, it's -5 outside, 10 degrees in here. I turned it up to 18. It's now up to 16, and it's still -5 outside. So, you just turn the gas on and turn the heating on, and away you go. The thing warms up. And I like that. I like having the comfort. Plus the fact there's the bed, and one of the big things I bought this for was the bed situation. In the other van, having to make up a bed every night was a pain, putting my bedding away every night. I still actually make the bed up, I make the bed every morning, and I push the center bit back so I've got a bit more floor space. But every night I pull the center bit out, which gives me a 7-foot by 6-foot bed. I always joke all I need is a disco ball in the ceiling, and I've got this big 6-foot by 7-foot super king size bed. It's amazing, but it's good for us. We just spread out. It's brilliant. So in the morning, yeah, I put the center bit back, I make the bed and everything, tidy everything up as best I can. But being able to have that big bed, and there's been a couple of afternoons where we've been, let's go for a nap, Alfie. And we just go to the back and lay down on the bed and have a nap. And being able to do that, okay, I had the couch in the other van, so I could still do it, I suppose, of sorts. But, being able to have a proper bed and go back there, it's just brilliant. So I love that. What else do I love about this van? I think it's just the general layout of it. And, just being able to have a bit of space. And some of the work that I've done to it, I've added the lithium, I've added the camera system, I've added the new radio system, I've added the air suspension, which has made a massive difference. That is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've got 4 bar in both sides now, but if I put it up to 7 bar, which is the maximum, then it lifts the back end up about 6 inches. So there's no chance of bottoming that out, which is what I did 3 days after I owned the van. So, I've got my cell booster, which I haven't really noticed much of a benefit from, if I'm honest. Maybe I should have gone with a better one, but I don't know. We'll see as time goes on if it actually helps me with mobile phone signals. I've tried it a few times, and it hasn't really made much of a difference unless there's already a signal there, which you don't really need it for anyway. Yeah, so I mean, I've hung some things up and done some decorating, but you know, of sorts anyway. But I just like this van. It just, I think it's absolutely brilliant. On the fridge is like more than twice the size, probably three or four times the size of the fridge in my other van, and so, and the freezer is definitely you know, much bigger. So being able to have all that extra space for food storage and for his raw frozen food storage is so much better. But yeah, now that I've gotten the camera system calibrated, which I did when I was parked up at the campsite, I had some space around me, so I put my mats on the floor and I calibrated the camera system. So it needs to be done again, really. I need to fix it again because there's still a bit of distortion on the camera, and I didn't, when I was reading the instructions, you're supposed to put the mats down on the side, measure the distances between them, input that into the system, and then you're supposed to align the cameras so that the cameras are in the center of the mat, and then calibrate the system. Well, I didn't do that, so my cameras aren't actually pointing to the center of all the mats. So I will need to find some space, and I might wait until I'm in Spain, because it's good enough right now. I can see the bird's eye view of the van, and I can see down, and I do get to see what's around me, and it's quite accurate. It helped me back into this spot with vans left and right of me, so it was a big benefit. But I think when I get to Spain, because I need to take the bike rack off, because the camera at the back looks down on the bike rack. So that needs to go so that it can properly see the mat on the floor. And I really don't want to be faffing about in -5 degrees trying to sort all these mats out. So I might wait until I get to Spain and then do it there, and just recalibrate the whole thing. But yeah. So that's it anyway. I've rambled on for a bit. It's been good. I'm going to have my coffee and then put his jumper on and take him for a walk up in the hills for a couple of miles. Because even though I go for the bike ride and I'm taking him with me, he still just sat in the back and he needs his exercise. So, and more exercise won't hurt me. So I'm going to do that. And then I've got some work to do this afternoon, and then hopefully see Pete for a pint tonight. Maybe go out for dinner. We'll see. All right. Have a great day. And yeah, I hope you don't mind the format that I'm doing with this, keeping this separate from my videos, just because it works for me. All right. Take care.